Hey folks, Jonathan here, back working on the floors. We're going to get these finished up here shortly. Everything's welded in except for I've got to put panels in the bottom there and the bottom on the kick panel. And once that's done, we're going to clean this up and go ahead and get that rust treatment on there. Go from there. I did go buy me a helmet, which is a auto darkening helmet. First one I've ever had. And the reason I bought it, you know, I usually use a regular helmet, but when you're doing sheet metal work, it's too hard to do when you're spotting. So I'm really bad about not using a helmet and just closing my eyes every time. And I've gotten good at it. I've never, you know, had an eye issue, but the problem is I burn my face. I get sunburn on my face and on my forehead, and it just hurts like crap. So went and bought that. I like it. It seems to work really well. When you arc it, it's, you know, as fast as my eyes, but when you stop, it's not as quick. You got to wait just a, you know, fraction of a second before it comes back to light. But so it slows down a little bit, but I'd rather not have my face hurting, so I'm good with that. Okay, folks, I've got this side completely done. As you can see, the corner there, got that all buttoned up. So luckily, this one was together enough to get my measurement up for my rocker. I went to the center of the bottom hinge bolt. That way I could get the other side right, because everything was missing over there. So now that we've got that, and I've got a panel welded in the side, we're going to go ahead and make a new piece for here. I'll cut this out and make a new one just like that one right there. You can see it. And I did find the back window. I don't think it's salvageable, but I was kind of impressed here that this was tempered glass instead of the laminated, which is what all the other windows are. The windshield, all the side windows, or the door windows, are all laminated, and the back windows are actually tempered. So we've got the back seat out. Everything looks good in here. And we're going to get this cleaned out and then go ahead and start getting the floors cleaned up so we can get this process finished. So one more piece is all I've got right there, and that's going to be done with the floors, and that'll leave us with the two pieces on the rocker. So, alright, show you as it goes along. Okay folks, floors are done. We treated it first, let it sit, and then I've got the undercoating spray on it now. It's rubberized, and you can see the shinier spots where my welds are. It's where I put it on pretty heavy, so it's not quite dry yet. But what we're going to do is work on these rockers. And let me go to the other side and I'll show you how we're going to fix them. Okay, the plan for fixing these is to bend a piece of angle iron, and I've got a little weld to cut off right there, but I'm going to bend a piece of angle iron that goes down about a 1/2 inch and in about a 1/2 inch. And what I want to do is come all the way as close to on the inside of this to the edge as I can. After I get that on there, I'm going to slip it down in, we'll weld it, and we can weld tacks up here, or we can drill it, plug weld it to that. And then after we get it under where this is good and sturdy, I'm going to come through with the cutoff wheel, and I'm going to try to leave about 1/8 of an inch of this all the way down. Now some places it's going to be too close, but the plan is to do that, and then we'll weld this back to our angle sticking out and just let it roll with that. I don't think we have much of a choice, just the way that this is made. It's in rough shape. So anyway, you know, it's not bad here, believe it or not. It's actually in really good shape. It's just this top side where it mounted onto the sill plate, and we're going to get on that now, and that's why I didn't, you know, undercoat any of this out here, because I know I was going to have to weld on it. So we're going to knock that out, and then once that's knocked out, I've got all the brake stuff in. The only thing I don't have yet is the gas tank, and it should be here shortly. But I've got enough to do all the brakes, and the radiator hose, the belt, and we've got a place to solder on the radiator, and I think that's about it. And then we'll have some more wiring stuff to do, and we've got to figure out something on the seat. I don't want to drill and bolt anything else in there. I really want to go back with the original, but it's so rough it's not really settable, I guess. But maybe we'll wrap it in something or figure something out. But until we can get time to, I really need some area to set my sewing machine up so I can go on and do some upholstery work. But that's the way it goes, right? All right. Okay, we got our piece cut. It is 1 1/8". So I cut one side, cut off wheel. One side was already cut. It was a little bit rough, but it's not going to matter. But we are going to do this on the press brake. It's going to be a 1/2 inch on one side and 5/8 on the other. So we're going to just make it into a small piece of angle iron. So I don't know how it's going to do. I don't think I've ever been anything this short. So if it works out all right, we'll be okay. I'll show you when I get done. Okay, so here's what we ended up with. A piece of angle that's 5/8, 1/2 inch up, and I've drilled holes in it to plug weld it because I didn't want to bead across here. It wouldn't look really well. And so now what we're going to do is cut this weld off. My tack I've got on there. We're going to try to set this in place and get it tacked in. And once we get it where we want it, we'll weld it in a few spots, and then I'll come back with the cutoff wheel and cut just as close to this edge as I can without going too far. And hopefully we can clean this up and make it look presentable anyway. So let's see how she turns out. Okay, so here's where we're at. We've got all the spot welds in, and now we're going to go and cut this off close to try to just clean it up, make it look decent, and then we'll weld it on. We'll probably just spot it for now down through it. It's already looking better though. It's better than having all them holes. So, I didn't bend up the other side because I wanted to see how this side worked out first before I done it. So anyway, let me get to cutting on that, and then we'll start tack welding that on. Okay, I have got most of it cut, and now I'm going to try to tack weld. Wish me luck. We hope it comes out all right. And I'd love to weld the whole thing. The only issue that I see that could possibly give problems later would be with this being higher, is it filling full of water. So, you know, a person could go through with some seam sealer and just seam seal it afterwards, or even body work it. I'll probably do neither, but that's what could be done. But like I said, it's not the right way to fix it, but you know, it is a way of fixing it. So, all right, I'm gonna get at it. Okay, we tacked it. It actually welds real good because I'm able to come off the thicker 16 gauge and over to the thin stuff. So could probably weld the full length and grind it, but for now we're gonna leave it just like it is. Just a bunch of spot welds. And we're gonna get on the other side and see if we can get it done. Now we still got stuff in the corner, and then of course the body is rusted there. But we're not gonna worry about that right now either. So we're just trying to make this thing, of course, where it don't fall apart, but good enough to drive. And I think we're getting there. So let's see if we can get the other side done. In case you're wondering how it lines up on the door, you can see we've got some vent on the rocker here a little bit, but when the door is in where it's supposed to be, looks like we go from 1/4 to 3/16 maybe gap. But this is bent down also, so that's causing some of it. Not bad though. I mean, it could be worked with. I don't think too many people crawl up under your rockers to check your gap. If they do, what you do is you just take their head and you just slam it into it real hard, and then or open the door on them, and then they'll quit looking. But anyway, worked fine. And remember, when you're welding, it's all right for it to sound like you're frying bacon, but if it starts smelling like bacon, you know you got yourself on fire. Okay, we're over here on the other side, and all this is going to be fine, but when we get up here, we're actually missing. So it's not going to be perfect up this way, but I think we can work with it, make it look halfway like it's supposed to. So we're gonna get another piece cut, and the whole rocker is loose. So we'll go ahead and get another piece cut real quick and bend it on the press brake, press brake, whatever you want to call it. And then we'll see if we can get it on. Hopefully I can get this finished up tonight, because I know this fabricating metal and you know, spot welding and stuff like that, it's just getting I don't know how I want to put it, but repetitive. In other words, I don't want to show you all the same thing over and over and over and over. And hopefully we'll be on the brakes and stuff tomorrow. That's what I'm sort of waiting on. Brakes and gas tank, and we can do all this little stuff and maybe get this thing where we can take it down the road. All right folks, both rockers are done, finished. Come out good. I like them. Floor's good. The second one didn't go quite as good as the first one, but you know, it's kind of funny because I told Noah the other day that when you do something, the first time you do it's not important. The second time you do it's what's important, because if it's not better than it was the first time, then you're moving backwards. So anyway, it looks like I was moving backwards a little bit, but a lot of it had to do with the rocker was a little bit more rough on this side, but you know, I think it'll do. I think it'll hold up just fine. It's not going to fall off, and that's the important thing, because it was about to fall off. So anyway, so that's it for welding and floor work. We do have a little bit of work to do in the trunk. We're not going to do that yet. We are going to get on the important stuff, the brakes, the gas tank, radiator, all that good stuff. And my gas tank is still not here. It's about, I don't know, after 7 o'clock, or about 7 o'clock I guess, and it shows that it's still out for delivery for today. Yesterday I guess I missed it. I was here in and out all day, but I must have missed the driver, and he got a sign for it, so he put a letter on the door, but I sure wish he would bring it back. That was about 1 o'clock yesterday, and today, like I said, they're not here yet. So UPS around here is kind of weird. You don't never know when they're coming first thing in the morning or late in the evening, and now for the first time yesterday they came in the middle of the day. So I don't know, I haven't figured them out yet. And I think I said, but anybody that don't know, somebody explained to me that that is the heater. That's an aftermarket heater in this thing. That would have been the original heater. That's why there's holes in the firewall, but no, well, I'm not going to say that's why, but there's holes in the firewall. I guess they had separate motors, one for heat, one for defrost, and this does both of them, so I can cap them holes off. This thing is hooked up, so it's got water in it, and as of now it's not leaking anywhere. So if it's not going to leak, we're going to clean it up, hook it up, and get her working. And I've actually got a couple of gasoline ones, but I'm about afraid to try them, you know. So anyway, that's it. We'll keep right on it and see if we can get this thing knocked out. And I'm looking forward to my wife driving this thing to the cruise in. She said she's going to, so if she's going to drive it, I'm going to have it ready for her. So anyway, I appreciate everybody watching, and until next time, bye.